this is the first, the second, the third, and the fourth. You can literally watch, like, if you get the program today, you just need like maybe an hour to go through like the first 10 videos, and you can literally start tomorrow. Like, there is no need to go out and get like a whole new grocery shopping, no need to prep for hours for the program. It's absolutely no need for none of that. I mean, you do prep, it's easy, like if you're used to prepping meals and lunches depending on your schedule, or like planning what you're going to eat, but you don't need those many hours in there or that full day of grocery shopping in order to start it. And immediately, as soon as you start it, you see the weight falling off, like right there and there. Like I was telling Michelle, like I posted in the group yesterday, I was like, hey, I woke up a pound lighter. Yay. And then I messaged her up again today, like, hey, I'm a pound and a half lighter than what I was yesterday. So it's like, it's so simple. Like, the ones that were in the test group, that were in the test group in March, we're still in a group. Ilana keeps commenting and answering our questions, which is great. And we're like, we don't get how something so simple we haven't done before. We haven't been kind of told to just do it. And it's like, you just see the fat and the weight coming off. Like, it's insane. So for me, like it has been a game changer for me, because now the relationship with food is like a lot better. I know what it does to my body. I know what carbs are needed for. I know what proteins are needed for. I know what veggies are needed for. And I know the importance of water, the importance of, just, I said it on the live that I did a few weeks ago, tracking everything that you eat. And you just see the weight off. So it's like, you have right now the mindset, and I had it when I was doing 80-day obsession specifically, of do not weight yourself. You don't weight yourself until like the end of the phase 1. And we're always telling our challengers, like, do not focus on the scale. Do not look at the scale. Do not do this with the scale. But then it's a complete mindset with the to-be mindset, because one of the things that you have to do every day is step on that scale. And it's not because the number defined you. It's not because you're what that number says. It's not because you need to be either happy or depressed that number went up or down. It's just so you understand what you did the day and the prior days before does to your body and does to your system. So it's like, and to be honest with ourselves, when I was at my heaviest, like I remember back in that day when I was like 270, 260, something like that. And I hadn't weighted myself in years. If I had weighted myself before then, I would have caught myself like gaining that much weight, and I would probably stop myself. So it's not like the scale is our enemy, it's just a tool. And if you think about it, like if you're not losing weight, or if you're not, or when you were at your heaviest, when was the last time that you weighed yourself? Or if you only weigh yourself on Sundays, you're most likely to cheat on your meals on Monday, because you have those 4 or 5 days to kind of like skip a few meals or skip a few carbs so you can cheat on the scale. So it's kind of like, it's a complete mindset, and to be honest, I lost that 2.5 pounds since, yesterday, the day before yesterday, in the last 2-3 days. And I can be completely honest, I had chocolate covered almonds yesterday, like a small pack. I think it comes like 10 of those. And I did not cheat on the program. I did not cheat on myself, and I still lost weight. So it's a complete game changer. I don't know if I'm missing any points or marks, or if you have any specific questions, and otherwise I can keep rambling.
Yeah, if you guys have questions, definitely just jump on. I mean, Jessie can only answer so much. There's only so much she can tell us. So for someone like myself, trying to explain it to someone right now with the limited stuff we're allowed to say. So for you, example, Jessie, if you had a customer or a potential client that you're explaining this to, how are you positioning it? Like, how are you explaining it? I know how I am. I think we talked a little bit about this today, but can you kind of share that with everybody?
I'm just telling people it's nutrition based. So I have a lot of people that's the people that I'm talking to right now, that I haven't been able to sell them on Beachbody or to get them to get excited on a program, just because they are already joined a gym membership. They already have their their routine, their Zumba classes, whatever classes they do, and they don't want to trade that for anything. And so like a whole challenge pack before was like not needed for them because they had their workout. So the way I'm doing it, it's like, this is completely nutrition based. It adapts so much to your daily life. Like for me, that I'm completely corporate, out of the house at 8 and back by 7, and it adapts perfectly. If I have time and I want to, I can work out. I'm not needed to. So like for those people that they've been doing their own thing for months, for years, but then they haven't had those results yet. So like I'm focusing on that. Like what have you been doing? How are you liking it? Everybody loves Zumba. Like they love going out. And I think it's because of that mom time that they get, like away with the friends, like a girls' night, but it's actually exercising. So everybody loves to do that. But then when you ask them how much weight have you lost, they're like, nothing. So it's like that's the part that I'm focusing on, like telling them it's 100% nutrition based. So like if you have an injury, I have so much people that are so much overweight. Like they're like literally like 300 pounds or something, and they're always in surgeries and in and out of the hospital, and they don't have the money or they can't join a gym. Like who's gonna work out when they're that heavy? Like they're not. So this is like a perfect way to help them get started, because it's nutrition and they don't have to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on new grocery shopping. They can start it with whatever they have in the fridge now. It's just teaching them how to eat it and what kind of system to eat it with. And it's like that's the one. It's like, it's simple. They don't have to do any calculations, count any calories, count the containers. I put mine away and I don't plan on getting them back. But it's that simple. Like it's insane.
So how I'm positioning it, I've been talking to tons of people the last couple of days, and of course I even, like, in my head, I'm like, this sounds too good to be true. And it just kind of dawned on me yesterday. I was like, you know what? This is just like buying a course that I would buy for my business. So for example, in the fall, I bought STB training. So that was training specifically for my business page. It was training me how to run ads on Facebook. This is exactly the same thing. This is not like they're buying a program that's going to give them a meal plan and give them workouts. This is not like, this is like, you have to just like spin yourself around, because this is completely different. This is like you going through the college book that comes in the mail and seeing a course and saying, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to learn more about nutrition and mindset. Or, oh my gosh, they have a course about beating emotional eating. I want to do that. That's how I'm positioning it to people. This is not a diet plan. That's not what this is. This is a course, and you're going to work through the modules, and they're going to build on each other. They're going to educate you. Every single video you watch, you're going to learn something new that's going to help you with your mindset to finally beat whatever their challenge is. So when I'm talking to people, I still want to hear what their challenge is. You can't work out because you have an injury. You binge eat every weekend. So when I'm talking to them, I tell them that at some point, one of those videos is going to specifically target their challenge, and it's going to help them work through it. So it's not like they're buying a meal plan. There's not going to be a meal plan. There's not going to be that kind of stuff. It's a complete, is that right, Jessie? We've already talked about this, so I know.
Yeah, it doesn't bring a meal plan. It does bring a food list. It does bring the specification of what type of groups you eat it. And then you have videos that show you type of breakfast that you can eat or how to balance it out. And same thing for lunch and dinner. But there is no meal plan in anything.
It's like factual information about foods and what they do to your body and how you're going to react to it. Since Jessie and I have been talking, It's been interesting that even the switch in my brain already, going on the scale every morning and just being like, well, that's probably because I had this yesterday. Or that's probably because I didn't have this. Like it's looking at things totally different. And I'm not like, she's not giving me inside information. She just, from what I'm learning from the videos and little tidbits I'm picking up, I'm seeing how it's going to work. And I guess that's what I would advise you guys to do. If you're talking to people and you really want to make this something that you use for yourself, which then is going to rub off on your business, you want to do as much research as you can before, or just wait until the second, get the package. And like Jessie said, it's going to take you like an hour to go through those first fundamental videos, and then you're going to be able to help your customers. And that's my plan. I certainly don't have any desire for 25 people to buy the package on May 2nd. I want to get the package on May 2nd so I can go through it and I can understand it. And then Megan and I, our group will not start until the 14th, because I really want to have days under myself, like days working with it myself before I start a challenge or whatever with it. So does anyone else have questions for Jessie? No. Okay. Megan, do you want to kind of share some of our little ideas, or is it too loud?
No, it should be fine. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously the first step is you guys all need to be talking about this, because like, that's a given, right? Everybody needs to be posting about it, creating that excitement, getting people exposed to the group that we have and all the information. There's enough information out there that you can find, that's for sure. Even the FAQ, I spent some time on the FAQ this morning, and there's a lot of really great info in there as well, some videos you can watch, so it's everywhere. So our plan, we were kind of thinking about what we're going to do, and we both agreed right away, like, we're going to do a separate group, right? Like, we're not going to sort of combine this with our regular accountability group like we have been. Like, we even put our 80-day obsession into our regular accountability group. We didn't do anything separate, but this time I feel like it really does need to be separate, big time, because it's not even on the same page as far as what I understand from it. It's just something completely different and just not even the same type of concept. So we're sort of looking at it more as like a support group. What was it that a success group? Is that, what did we say?
Well, Ilana refers to it as a success group, isn't it, Jessie? Not like, she doesn't refer to it as a challenge group. It's a success group?
Success.
Yeah, it's something like that. I don't remember, but she doesn't see it as a challenge group because it's really not a challenge. Like,
no.
Yeah.
I think it was success group. We liked it. Whatever it was, we were like, ooh, I like that. Like, I like the way that sounds. But even like just creating this community, this like tribe, this village of people, of women who are wanting to really dive into this program. And it's something that can just kind of be like a long-standing group, in my opinion, because it's like, again, from what I understand, there's no like end date. It's not like, oh, you're done. Like you finished. Woohoo. Like, it's just going to be this ongoing community where we can constantly be adding in new people that want to do 2B mindset. And there's going to become experts in that group. And it's just going to become this really awesome, tight-knit village or community, whatever you want to call it. So that's kind of our take on it, because it's going to be, and it's not necessarily even going to be something that we have to like really run and micromanage like an accountability group is, right? We're right now in our accountability group, we make sure there's like a morning post for people to log their workout and their shake and, you know, do their accountability for the evening, and we're making sure we're providing value in there. I see this being something that more so runs on its own, and a place for people to really feel supported from one another. And it just sort of, as a core group, it all runs together with the people that we're adding into it. And that's just kind of what happens in these communities. So that's sort of how I see it. And it's not going to be this added task necessarily on our to-do list. Like, oh, we have to, you know, get that all set up. Like, it's just going to be more of a community feel and a support system. And I think it could be really, really exciting. So even like start thinking about like, can you team up with some people to start this community? Like, this isn't something that you should feel like you have to do on your own, because the more people that are going to be in it, the better. Like 100%, right? So team up, find other people, get like 5 of you together, and who are like, you know, somewhat new coaches who maybe you don't have a whole bunch of people. Maybe each of you have 2 or 3 people you're going to add into this community. Get it started together and pool everybody in and see what happens. Like, I think this could really be like magical, the way these communities could sort of take off.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I mean, it had been a long time since I had actually done a program that was brand new with a whole bunch of people. And I did that with 80 Day Obsession. And let me tell you, there was like magic in our group. Like, it was so fun to just be one of them. Like, I felt like a challenger for 80 days. It was like, I loved it. And I'm as excited about this because I don't know what to expect. You don't have to be the expert here. When I'm talking to people, like, my messages today were like, to be honest, I have no clue what's going on. As I get information, we're sharing it with you. It's kind of freeing to not have to have the answers, to just say, well, this is what I know. One of my coaches and friends is in the group, and I mean, this is what's happening to her, and I'm so excited for her, and I can't, and you can use the same language. She's your teammate. You know, you don't have to be the expert all the time. You can just be the supporter. You can just take the facts that we have and share that information. I mean, the material Beachbody gives us is enough. You don't have to have more. And that's why we give you the information group, because we just pile it all in there. So it's there for people, but you guys got to get the people in there. Now, I think it's important to remember, we're not dissing exercise. And we're not saying that, oh, now we're off of 80 Day Obsession, because I plan on doing 80 Day Obsession right along with 2B Mindset. Jesse's going to start 80 Day Obsession on Monday, I think is what we agreed on. Like, exercise is important, you guys. It is extremely important. There is no question that has not changed. And that's why I think it's really important to get your head around, this is a course or a program where you're going to learn more about nutrition and learn more about your relationship with food. It's totally separate from the fact that our cardiovascular health, our heart needs exercise. But I'm here to tell you, and this is factual, you can exercise every single day of your life and eat like shit and gain weight. I've done it very well for many years. So it's 2 separate things, but people are still going to be able to do our workouts with this program. Like, I don't want you to get like all flustered and like, oh God, now I'm not supposed to talk about exercise, because that's not it at all. And if you watch Alana's videos, you will see her say that. She is, in fact, I think she's a yoga instructor. You know, like, she's very much into exercise.
Into yoga. She does yoga. I'm sorry to cut you off. All throughout her pregnancy, I think right now she must be like 8 months about to give birth, and that's what she does, yoga and the program 2B Mindset.
Yeah, I think, I mean, for a person like me who's used exercise as a crutch, like in my head, I think, okay, I'll go have the wine and chips and then I'll just do some extra cardio tomorrow. Like that is how my brain has worked for a long time. And there's a lot of women like me. This is the education that someone like me needs to get me over and through that crutch. Because I know for a fact, it doesn't matter how many hours of cardio I do, it's not going to take away the wine and the chips. It's not. I need to figure out how to not binge on the wine and the chips. I'm being very transparent with all of you guys tonight, but I think that's the kind of problems women have. That's what's happening in lots of houses.
Yeah. And I think too, like, I mean, a lot of the times why we have people not committing to a challenge pack is because they're too intimidated by all of it. Like, you know, when we were talking about 80-day obsession or even the 21-day fix, we're talking about the workouts, we're talking about the nutrition, we're talking about Shakeology and the containers and the meal plans. Like, it is overwhelming. If you have never done any of that in your whole life, that can make someone like run for the hills, right? It's too much all at once. They're hardly even surviving their life now. How on earth are they going to survive a detailed program like that, right? But this is something that people can get on board with because it's simple. It's not having to all of a sudden commit to this like great big giant thing. For instance, if this had been around like 3.5 years ago when I first messaged Michelle about Shakeology, I would have been on board with this. Like I wouldn't have wanted the workout. Like I didn't want the workouts. Like she talked me into getting PiYo because it was only $10 more. Like I didn't want to work out. I had no desire to. I just wanted to work on my nutrition and getting healthier. And that's how a lot of people are. They're not ready yet for the workouts, but just like myself, within even a couple weeks, I was starting to think like, maybe I could start working out. Like I might just like do the odd workout here and there. I wasn't ready to commit to a workout program. That took me a long time before I was ready to fully like commit to a day one, but it started to come. But first I needed that nutrition part. So this is just, I think it's all just going to work so well for people who are just like, people are overwhelmed in life. Like life is just so crazy busy that to take on something like, you know, a detailed program, nutrition and fitness and portion control, like it can send people running for sure. So I'm excited about it. It like really is in line with how I view nutrition and my values with it. So I'm like super pumped.
Yeah, me too. I forget.
Amy, I think put a question. It is for the whole family. And, like it's so simple that it doesn't restrict you from certain groups of food or limit your foods. Like my husband has been eating the way that I've been eating. Mind you, he does need to gain weight, but that's another story. So it's not like the weight loss. He says he eats double. But it is for the whole family. And I've actually had more drinks during the 2B mindset than any other program that I've done, and I've still lost weight. Like I've had my margaritas, I've had sangria, and I've still lost weight during those days. So it does teaches you about the mindset of how to see it. Like you're not, it's going to take control as well. Like, are you the type of people that, thank you, April, that open up a bottle of wine and then just, you do not get up until you finish it? Then it does touches on that. Like, what is your mindset? Why are you drinking? Are you depressed? Like what's going on with your life that doesn't let you stop it? You know, or are you just, you know, you had a stressful day and you just need a glass. Like sometimes I come out of the office and I'm like this, and I tell my husband, I don't even want to cook. Let's go to a Mexican place and I want my margarita. And we go to the Mexican restaurant. I order according to my plan and I have my margarita for the night and still wake up with a weight loss. So it's like, it's a lot on your mindset. Like that's what changes with this program. It's like it helps you dig deep into yourself and why you act with food the way you do and why you act with alcohol the way you do. So it's like it kind of like reprograms yourself into it. So like you can have chips and wine and have a weight loss as long as you're not having a whole bottle and a full bag of chips. So it's kind of like it helps you balance it out and kind of work through it and see why you're doing the things that you're doing.
Yeah, sounds very cool. It really does. It's interesting for sure. Something that I don't like about 80 Day Obsession, it was 80 days of not really eating with my family, because like Terry and Delaney were not going to eat like one orange of sunflower seed. Like the way I was eating, it just was not conducive to family. And because of my the way I am, like when I decide to do something like that, I am so on point, like literally do not have an extra sunflower seed. And it wasn't conducive to family life. And I did not like that. And I've been very honest on my pages and in my conversations. Like that's one thing. Be honest. If you love 80 Day Obsession and you love that, then that's your market. That's the cool thing about Beachbody. There are so many different programs. There are so many different ways and directions you can take this. And that's why it's really important. You need to figure out, don't go with the masses just because you want to go with the masses. Go with what resonates with you. I mean, I'm super glad I did the 80 Day Obsession. I'm so proud of myself that I stuck to it for 80 days because that was my goal and that's what I wanted to do. And now I am very honest about my feelings on it. Love the workouts. Can't wait to get through a second round and see what those workouts do to my body. But I don't want to limit myself with that restrictive eating. That does not make me feel good at all, as in like having a family and life. It made me feel good inside, like I felt good as my body, but it's just not something I could keep up with. So I'm honest with people about that, and I think that's okay. Like I don't have to agree with every single thing. In my opinion, that's why Beachbody is a really cool company, because they just have so many different avenues that you can go. But I think it's important that you're kind of honest with yourself. And I know that there are coaches of mine that are very much into 80 Day Obsession and that way of life, wanting to do a bikini competition because this has inspired them that much. And that's amazing. And those are the kind of customers that person will attract. And that's great because we have something to offer them. So, you have to think about where you're at and what you believe in and what's working for you and where you want this to go. You don't have to do everything, because the 21-day fix is still going to be really good for some people. 80 Day Obsession is still going to be really good for some people. Like you're still going to have people that in fact, I talked to 2 people today about the 21-day fix because I think it would be 100% perfect for them. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, you guys?
I just wanted to comment on what you guys are planning for the group. I think it's amazing because that's kind of the way that we have our test group. There is no morning post or afternoon post or things like that. Like we are so excited about the program that we post ourselves. Like we go in and we post a motivational quote in the morning, and it's 100%. Morning posts are always about the weight because you weigh yourself. That's like the first thing that you do in the morning. You go to the bathroom, you weigh yourself. So you have like, hey, I'm half a pound down. And some other people are like, I don't know what I did yesterday, but I'm 2 pounds down from yesterday. So it's like seeing that, like when you wake up and going into the group and seeing like, holy, these people, like she just lost 2 more pounds. He just lost like even a half a pound. There is even one person that has this kind of coloring bus, and she colors in every 2 pounds that she loses. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you see her post and like the little bus, like with more colors every time she posts it. So it's like, that's what more motivation do you need? That's seeing people that are doing the same thing that you have in your hands and they're losing the weight. So it's like, that's the first thing that I see in the morning, like people losing weight, and like it helps you stay focused on what you're doing. And we have people doing 80-day obsession with Two Mindset, and other people doing T25. So like they're doing all kinds of workouts along with the To Be Mindset. And then you have people like me that kind of like, and we're just doing To Be Mindset only and no workouts. And we're all having results. So it works for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think they want to make sure people don't think that it's just for people that don't want to exercise, because that's not what it is at all. You can combine it. I think it's just a program to get you having a better relationship with food. I mean, that's
exactly what it is. And it's like a lifestyle, like Megan was mentioning. There is no end date. It's not a 21-day program. It's not an 80-day program. It's a lifestyle program. Like it really teaches you what to eat and how to eat. And you were right what you were saying, well, 80-day obsession, you don't have any family dinners. Like literally when I started doing my To Be Mindset, my husband was like, I have my wife back. Like we have mom back in the dinner table, because we did. And now we could go in and have breakfast or brunch every Sunday like we used to, because it teaches you, like there are videos that teaches you how to order food out, how to eat during vacation. Like it teaches you everything, like how to see basically food in your life and how to live it and not use it as kind of like, oh, I did good, so I'm going to eat more. Like, no, it's like learn what food is meant to do for you, like for your body, for your energy, for focusing, for whatever. And then you just do it for that. So it's really great.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessie. And obviously, it probably still feels a little overwhelming and evasive because we just don't have the program yet. It's one of those things that it doesn't matter how many videos we watch, at the end of the day, we still don't have it in our hands to read it ourselves or watch it ourselves and process it. But what I was afraid was here we were going to be hit with 41 videos and they were going to be like an hour long, and my attention span is like 2 minutes flat. Like I would be out. And the fact that they're like 5 minutes, I think she said the longest one is maybe like 18 minutes or something.
I think the grocery shopping is the longest, and that does take over a little bit over half an hour, I believe. But that's like the only one, if I'm not mistaken.
Which I think is great. Like it's just like short, sweet. You can get through it fast and you can get going, which is what people always want. They want to be able to get it and do it. And everything's online. There's going to be an app. That's exciting as well in June. So there'll be like a separate app that people can have to log and track, because tracking is really important. And it's just a whole new way. It's one of these times that you're just going to have to open up your mind and really, embrace it instead of being scared of it. So do we have any idea of prices? Oh yeah, all the prices are on the FAQ, Katie. Yep, everything's there. I think it's, I don't know, $100 for the base package.
Oh, that's Canadian. Okay, US, it's $60 for the basic, $160 for the challenge pack, just to be Mindset Access and Shakeology, $200 to have VOD included as well. So it's 3 options.
So everyone's aware that it's a separate place. Like it is not part of Beachbody On Demand. So when people purchase To Be Mindset, they are not purchasing Beachbody On Demand. It is a separate place, I believe is it the same Beachbody On Demand? It's just a different sort of section, right? Yeah.
It's like when you used to buy it before, that you like the challenge pack only included that program. That's the same concept.
Yeah. So that's why it's broken down, and you can get the basic pack, which is just basically access to Be Mindset and the shaker cup and the books. The next is with Shakeology. And then the next is a year membership of Beachbody On Demand, which, that's amazing. Like they can still do any of the workouts on Beachbody On Demand with To Be Mindset. So it goes with any of the workouts. And there's a video that she does to help people understand how to blend and combine her way of eating with an extreme program. Because something like 80-day obsession, you know, you will have to be mindful of having enough food and having enough energy. And that's why the tracking, like, it's just a very different mindset and different thing to get our head wrapped around. But that's why we grab it on May 2nd and do it and read through it. And I know what I'm doing on May 2nd. I'm going to be glued to this stuff. Anyways, okay. Obviously we can answer any questions on the team page. And yeah, I hope you guys are excited about it. I think this is probably bigger than anything, because 80-day obsession was huge, and not that many people want to exercise. Like, really, in the whole mass of the world, not that many people want to exercise, especially extreme. And we know how great 80-day obsession did. Can you imagine a program that actually can help anyone? Like, anyone. It's pretty crazy. So I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, let's wrap this up. Hope you guys are having a good week. There's like 4 days now left. So I know that we're focused on the new thing, but you got to remember, you still want to get to your goals this month. And we have amazing things to offer people. Keep chatting with people and trying to get to those goals for April. And May will be awesome. Good night.